Last year, I did an action movie, very low budget, called Bus Driver, with Brian Herzlinger, my favorite director. And we had a great time on that. It was a lot of fun. It was really intense. It was really hard. And we had a lot of strife happen in post-production, where our editor just dropped out midway through editing and left us a mess of a post schedule. And most directors, and I think most producers, would have been like, well, let's be done with that. But Brian and I stuck it out, and we really believed in it, and we did everything we could to make sure we could finish it, or at least get certain versions of it finished before certain film markets. So film markets are where you go, you bring your poster, you bring a trailer, or you bring the feature film, and there's film buyers there, and there's film buyers from all different territories. So, and that's, as I said earlier, that's how you kind of make money a lot of times, is selling, I'm going to sell to the Brazilian foreign market, I'm going to sell to the German foreign market. Certain markets are worth way more money than others, and when you sell to that market, they're doing whatever they want with it. They're like, okay, cool, we have that, we have showing now, we can show it on our, BBC or whatever, or we can put it out here, we can do VOD just here, we can do Netflix for just here, all within that market. So we did the Bus Driver, and we, just barely kind of had a cut of it at AFI, and just based on the trailer alone, we were able to sell a couple of foreign territories. And then, we luckily hooked up with a really good foreign distributor called Imagine Worldwide, and they're great. And that's usually what you want to do. Like, as a producer, you want to get hooked up with because you can't just do it on your own. It's a nightmare. I mean, there's so much different stuff, and there's relationships that these guys have been able to cultivate for years. Like that's what they do. That's all they do. So you want to find a good relationship with a foreign distribution company that will help you do those kind of foreign markets and sell it for you. And they're the ones that go to AFI, and they go to the Berlin film market, or Sundance, or Slamdance, and they, have the movie, not even that it's showing there necessarily, but they know the buyers that are there, and so they send the movie to them in like a Vimeo link or something like that. Nowadays, I don't know what they used to do back in the day, but they do the Vimeo link, and the film buyers will watch it. They get to the festival, they meet Imagination Worldwide. If they need to talk to me or email me about anything, they can call me. Just they have questions about, okay, well, what, how can we do this? Can we change this? Well, this would be perfect for our markets, but we really don't like that you have nudity in it or something like that. And then to which we're like, oh God, we got to do a PG-13 cut, really? Okay, and then we try to find money somewhere to make that happen. It's a nightmare, and it's fun and exhilarating, and man, when you start seeing the movie coming out in certain places, it's awesome. Right now, Bus Driver we have not gotten to the point where it's coming out across the board, but we are at that point now where we have film buyers that are interested. We have people that have already bought it. I keep mentioning Brazil. I'm pretty sure we sold to the Brazilian film market, but I'm not sure, so don't use that. But I think we've already sold it to a couple of foreign markets, and it's just a matter of keeping at it. And it's like kind of chipping away where you can, and that's how you make your money back. And then the money will come back into the original investors' pockets. 30% will go. It's usually around 30 to 50% go to the distribution company, depending on what deal you made. If you're a first-time person with them, it's probably gonna be a higher rate goes back to them because they're, they want to get their return of their investment. If you've been working with them a while, you can kind of work out more of a deal where it's like, no, we're going to give you 30%, we get to take the rest. And then from that percentage, then, the producers spread that money out to whatever money guys they brought into. Because sometimes the people that gave money, they're not even a producer on it. They're just some person somewhere that had money. They're like, yeah, you need money for that? Cool. Get me money back in a couple of years, or in a year, or whatever. It's really bad as a producer if you can't pay your investor back for like 3 years. That sucks. So you try and keep it a year and a half. But you definitely always want to explain that when you're trying to get money. Is like, hey, listen, your return of your investment will not come next month. And it will not come in 6 months. It's going to come when the movie is done completely and we've sold it. And that's when the money starts flowing back in. Another film I produced a while back, and it produces, I was there to facilitate the logistics of the production. And it was a very, very low budget. It was run and gun, total guerrilla shoot. And I love that kind of shoot. It's a lot of fun. It was like 12 or 15 of us all living in a house together, just making the movie in the garage. It was like a one location thing, which, by the way, that's a bad idea. Open up your movie, have something outside. I didn't direct it. Another producer was also the director, and it was a really fun shoot, and a lot of good friendships and collaborations came from that. However, unfortunately, kind of in post, some things happened where the post schedule was just nightmarish, and there were certain things that happened where our editor just slow as molasses, good guy, but slow. And then he also had other producers that were hounding him, not knowing how the process worked. So it was this just frustrations on either side, and I'm caught right in the middle, as like the divorced kid, or the kid of the divorced parents. And, it got to the point where I was delivering messages for each party to the other. And I was like, I can't do this. And we just got to a certain point where the movie was done. And I was like, well, here it is. And they were like, well, we don't like the color correction. And I'm like, well, then, figure it out, because I'm not, I did this, I own part of it, but I did it for no money. I had no producer fee. That was something that taught me on that movie. Always have a producer fee, because what happened next is why I'm never going to make any money on it. They started taking the movie to every single film festival they possibly could. Every single one. And they showed the movie everywhere. And won a ton of awards, which is cool. I'm an award-winning producer, I guess, but I don't really hold that much credence to that. And that's great. And they showed it, I think, at over like 50 different festivals. It won like 32 awards. But the problem with that is that it's a very niche genre market. Everyone that has seen that movie, or who would have seen that movie, has seen it. So, as a distributor, someone brings you that movie and goes, hey, look how much people like it. Yeah, but they've already seen it. Why would I pay you any amount of money to release that for you? I'm not going to make any money on it, which makes absolutely perfect sense to me. So it's unfortunate, but I don't know. They pretty much cut me out of all the distribution talk deals, because I found this out much later after the fact, and I'm not bitter at all. This is just, these kind of things happen. They had a distribution deal on the table very early on, before it played at 32 festivals. And the minimum guarantee wasn't great. Minimum guarantee is how much you are guaranteed to get back on distribution. It wasn't good. It wasn't a very good minimum guarantee. And so they were like, well, we can do better than this. But it was a good price for the movie. Like, we would have made our budget back. But they went, no, we can do better. We can definitely do better. Well, they didn't. So they came back to that distributor saying, like, okay, do you want it still? And that distributor went, no, not at all. So, the movie's probably never going to come out. And that sucks, because, I almost died a couple times trying to make that movie, just from a heart attack, because it was intense. But that happens. That's just it's a way of life. Sometimes you make a low-budget movie and it lives and dies on a shelf.